If you are a coach or service provider trying to decide whether you should be using Notion or Airtable for client management, this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to do a real side-by-side comparison and show you what it actually feels like to manage clients in each tool. Not just talking high-level features and comparing pricing, but showing you real day-to-day real-life client management examples. If we haven't met yet, I'm Ashley, and I help coaches and service providers build client management systems that actually scale, meaning they will still work with you while your business grows and you won't hit a bottleneck in the capacity of what that tech can do for you. I have helped clients manage everything from 0 clients to thousands of clients with group programs, one-on-one, VIP days, retainer work, agency, all using simple systems that grow with them. Now, I want to be super transparent. I am an Airtable expert. I have been building systems in Airtable for the last 5 years, and people ask me all of the time, could I do what you're doing in Airtable, and could I rebuild it, and could I do it in Notion? And listen, I am genuinely open to being proven wrong about Notion, okay? If Notion could do what Airtable does for client management, I would absolutely tell you, and I would probably be selling you Notion templates too. But there is a reason that I'm all in on Airtable, and this video is going to show you why. In this video, I'm going to show you the side-by-side of both tools, walk you through how client management actually feels in each one, and really explain why I believe Airtable is built for client management in a way that Notion just isn't. And another caveat, I am not a Notion power user, okay? So a Notion expert might watch this and say, if you did this, if you did that, and that is totally fair, go watch their videos. But I am someone who builds client management systems and client hubs for a living. I have watched Airtable scale over the years and build features that really are above and beyond what Notion can do. And honestly, I tried to rebuild my Airtable client hub in Notion. I signed up for the Notion trial just for this video. I tried to prove myself wrong. I tried to rebuild the client hub, and I just kept running into friction, extra steps, and key differences, and honestly just confirmed what I already suspected, which is there's no other software that's better for managing your clients than Airtable, and I'm going to show you why. So in this video, I'm going to show you why Airtable is that girl for client management, and why, in my opinion, Notion just is not built for the job. So let's dive in. Before we get into the screen share, I want to give you a quick analogy I've been using for years because it explains everything about the difference between Notion and Airtable. So here is how I think about it. Notion is to Google Docs what Airtable is to Google Sheets. So Google Docs have gotten really impressive over the years, right? You can add tables, you can structure things, you can do these tabs, you can organize information, but at the end of the day, it's still just a document. And just like you wouldn't run your entire business out of Google Docs, you shouldn't be running your entire business and client management system out of Notion. Because this might be where things get confusing, but hopefully you can stick with me. Just because Notion has gotten more powerful, it is still not really a database. They have databases, they've added them, they've added automations, they've added flexibility, but structurally, Notion is still just like a document-based tool with databases inside of it. Airtable is different. It is a database-first platform, and when you're working with a lot of client data and details, you need a database. That really is going to become very apparent when you're managing real clients. So in Notion, you create a page, and inside that page, you build a database. And inside of that database, you create views, and then you can design dashboards, but they're not really that robust. In Airtable, the database is the starting point. The views, the automations, the interfaces are all built around the database by default. And that extra step of building databases inside of documents, inside of pages, might not sound like a big deal, but when you're managing dozens or hundreds of clients and working with a team and trying to automate everything super reliably, you want one place that's very easy to see where is your data, where are your automations, where are your dashboards, where are your forms. You just want it all easily accessible. And Airtable just makes it so much easier to view all that stuff at a high level. So I want to say Notion is great for, like Google Docs, it's good for writing, it's good for documentation, it's good for internal pages, it's good for knowledge bases, it's good for brain dumps, it's good for kind of if you like project planning and like things super visual, if you want beautifully formatted pages, go for that. But when we're talking about client management, we want something that like works and is simple and is automated and is scales. So client management is really more like spreadsheet style work. If you want beautifully formatted pages, go for it, use Notion. But if you want really simple, scalable, automated client management so you can onboard a client and not have to worry and you can easily see where they're at in the process, really, you want something like a database, you want Airtable. As your business grows and you add more clients and team members, you really want a client management system that is clear, predictable, easy to navigate, intuitive to maintain. And while there is a little bit of a learning curve with Airtable, I won't pretend that there isn't. The payoff is that you have a very easily customizable and easy to look at CRM or client database that you just can't really get into Notion. And I really think you're going to start to see that and notice that when we get into the screen share. One more thing before I show you both tools inside of the screen share. I have been building Airtable client hubs for years, and I've helped hundreds of clients across different niches, across different offer types. So VIP days versus group programs versus agencies, use and customize my client hub template. And I do not recommend building this from scratch. I actually do recommend grabbing my free masterclass and demo where I walk you through my full actual Airtable client hub and show you how it works in real life. But in this video, I didn't want to give Airtable an unfair advantage by showing you something that's taken me like years to refine versus an empty Notion setup. I'm actually in this comparison, I'm going to be starting from scratch on both sides to show you what it looks like to actually build a client management system from the ground up in both softwares. So I can show you the core differences on a more level playing field. So I wanted to give you that caveat. I'm showing you how to build it from scratch, but I wouldn't actually recommend you build it from scratch. I really recommend you get my client hub, and you can check that out for free in a little free demo in the description below. Okay, now let's jump into the screen share. Okay, so in this, I am going to walk you through like creating a client database system from scratch. Like I said, I would recommend you grabbing my client hub template and instead of using AI because there is so much nuance, and I don't think that AI is at a place yet to capture and create a full client management CRM from scratch. I've actually recently talked to an Airtable product developer or product manager, and they confirmed that for me. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that, but basically they're like, yeah, your templates are still good. They're still better than what the AI can do. So I've heard that from Airtable themselves, but I want to just kind of show you what it's like to build an app on your own so you can see the differences. So I'm literally, Notion is on the left, Airtable on the right. I'm going to get started. I'm going to say, let's see, I am a online coach with a group program. I have applications for the program that I review before they can get the link to book a sales call. Please create a client hub that organize my applications, leads, clients, and client. Let's see, add sales calls, clients, and client notes. Okay, I'm gonna see, let's see how good AI is. Let's see. So I'm gonna build that there. I'm also going to build an app here. What the hell is that? Let's see. Build your app together. Okay, all right. So I'm going to build it over in Airtable. We're seeing the differences. Now, maybe I did this wrong because I'm not a Notion expert. So that is not what I wanted it to do. Let's see, let's see. Notion AI. Okay, maybe that's a little better. Okay, cool. It's fixing it over here. So basically, I'm asking it over there what's going on. And then on my Airtable side, let's see, I'd love for you to create, even I like the AI. Airtable's AI is called Omni. I'd love to help you create a client hub for your online coaching program to build the most effective system. I need to understand a few core details. What's the main challenge? And let's say track it, information scattered everywhere. That's a big one for my clients. What's your process from initial application to becoming a paying client? Application review, sales call client. That's true. Who is using this regularly? Typically it's me and a virtual assistant. That's most of my clients, but see how easy this is. Like I said, you can get started with this. I would highly, highly recommend joining Systems Over Stress and using my client hub template instead, but let's see what it does. So they're both kind of creating, they're creating. So this is cool. I've never really done this before. So I hope this is helpful to see. And they're both updating and planning. Okay, let's check Notion. So Notion has created a client hub and it's updated applications, leads, sales calls, clients, client nodes. Great, let's see that. Okay, so if I open this up, let's see what that looks like. Welcome to your client hub. Ew, I hate this already. Okay, I will tell you why I hate it. Mostly, it's okay. Y'all don't know the differences yet, but you'll see here, and hopefully when the Airtable one comes together, then we'll be able to look at that. But let's look at this one first. So this is already giving to me very much a page with a application page inside of it. So review of applications. Yep. Okay. That looks good. So if I open up this new page, open, I hate this. Okay. So it looks like let's say this would be the test, actually test applications. So these are like mini databases, but it just looks like a page with tables inside of it. Okay. Yep. I see that. Okay. Yeah, I don't like this. And I know I'm not, okay, let's see. I'm going to pause here. Let's see how Airtable is doing. I put together a plan for your online coach hub. Does this look right, or would you like to make any changes? Let's see. Manage applications, coordinate sales calls, organize client relationships. Yeah, let's say that looks good. So let's see what Airtable builds in the meantime before I just keep harping on Notion. But this is like super interesting to me. Like I said, I've been building my client hub for clients for the last 5 years, and I've never really built one from scratch before. So we can see what the differences are between mine is already like way more robust than what they're showing, but at least I'm already seeing how much better it is. Oh, it brings me so much joy. Okay. You can already see the differences, right? Let's check it out. So here's Notion. Notions to me really, like I said, that Google Doc analogy is for real. Looks like a Google Doc with pages in it. Airtable is still building all of this stuff, and let's check it out here. Okay, so like it is freaking building, okay? There's a couple key things that I would do differently with this, which is why I have my Client Hub template. But I want you to see like it is building data. You can already see data, automations, interfaces, forms. You can see at the top, it's already so much cleaner to me than, like I said, this page with like little basic tables in it. No, this is so weak. This is so weak. Okay, so it says your app is now equipped to streamline your application process. Let's see, take a quick tour. Look at this. Like it even, if you've never touched Airtable, Airtable gives you so much helper text too. Like let's start with your data. This is where all your key info lives. Each record represents an item. Each field stores a piece of data about that item. Really straightforward. Interfaces have changed so much. If you've never used Airtable interfaces before, they've been really rolling out amazing updates with those over the last like year or so. And really, we build like almost everything interface forward. So that are interfaces, you can see the automations. Automations work without code. You can even do automations without using Zapier. And then you can ask Omni stuff to build even more things. And we've also got forms. It literally built out our form for us. So you can see here, you have your data, your automations, your interfaces, and your forms. You do not have that type of clear visibility and like hierarchy inside of this Notion page. It's just this. It's going to be really messy. It's not it. So let me go back to Airtable and kind of like say a lot of the things I like about this. Like I said, and if you've never touched Airtable before, there's data and these different tables. There's these different tables that organize each kind of section of your data. So you have your applications, clients, sales calls, and client notes. If you open up Emily Carter, for example, you can see all of the different, like when she applied, her program of interest, her status, her decision, who it's been assigned to, it links the sales call to her, it links her client record. All of those things are great things for us to see. So if we go to interfaces, you can see this is really similar to what I build in the Client Hub. Ours is cooler and more streamlined, but you have this Client Hub overview. These are different ways to visualize the data over in the data side. So this is where Airtable really, like I think, is above and beyond Notion. You can see Notion didn't even give us that when we had those created. I tried to build them in Notion and they don't really exist. I think I can do a new view and make like a chart. Let's see. Chart applications. Yeah, you can see the status, so you can put them here. So you can have some charts, but it doesn't give you everything that like Airtable can give you in the way that the interfaces work. So we've got our application insights. So you can see there's 15 applications in the sales pipeline. They're broken down by status. So what I always say with Airtable interfaces is any question you have about your business can be answered by your Airtable data and by your client hub. And this is like where Airtable, I think, really sets itself apart from Notion, because it's just like, I hope you can see the difference. It's just simply a document with database tables into it. It's not like a robust CRM system. If I go into application insights, like something I would add is I always like to add a list here. So let me add a list, hide field, status, so we can see all those. And then this is something that it did that I don't like. I would do something different. I would do these tabs here. I would say, let's say that we'd have one that's called to review. Filter where status is any of submitted or in review. So we can see there are 6. Here's all these. Love that. You can open this up. And let's see, the decision, like the status is going to be approved. They're going to move away from that pipeline. You get to see everything here. So it really becomes more of this like robust, searchable, flexible, filterable app that Notion just cannot do yet. It is so much more like just a simple document. There's all of that. We've got our sales call activity, so you can see that, your client and program statistics. So this enrollment by program, enrollment breakdown, those are all things that we have kind of in our client hub as well. That looks good. So really you have all of your data, and then you have automations. And let's see the automations that the Airtable built for us already. Notify coach on new application submission. So when a form is submitted, then send an email. Personally, this is a side note, we don't use this action type. We always use the Gmail option instead. It just has more flexibility. But you can even see here, like the Airtable Omni, the AI, built us a email that says new application submitted, review required. Hello, coach. A new application has been submitted for your program. Application name, email, program of interest, phone number. View the application here. So it's way smarter when it comes to building things and adjusting things than the Notion AI. And then I also wanted to show you forms. So like I said, the forms, there's technically you can build forms in here. So like there was applications. It didn't create an application for us. Let's see. Can I form? So we had to create that form. It didn't give us something as nice. Form, application. It's just kind of like, I don't know, it's just ugly. Like, it's just not as easy. It's not as like drag and drop of a builder too. This form stuff is super, super basic compared to Airtables. You can see that this form, you can add a logo, you can put in like things side by side. You can add groups, you can add descriptions, you can hide descriptions, you can have background colors, you can change things. There's just like a lot more in the internal forms. And what I like is that all of your forms live in one place. So as you start to grow, because not only does this house your application, that's just the example, when your clients are onboarded, their onboarding forms live here. They're offboarding forms, they're module check-ins, they're like certification quizzes, like all of those types of things are going to start to grow and live inside of these forms. And you have one place that you can see all of your forms instead of trying to figure out where they live in these pages inside of Notion. So hope that makes sense. I'm already like I said, I'm an Airtable pro. I am not a Notion pro, but like just baseline, like if I was coming in here for the first time, it is so much easier to navigate and see, okay, where are my automations for everything in my database in Airtable? You can create sections as well. So we could call this applications, move those around. So just way easier to stay organized than inside of this Notion here. We have honestly just scratched the surface of kind of the comparison of side by side, but already I'm seeing like there's no way that Notion can get to where I'm at with even like the basic baselines of Airtable. Airtable interfaces are really, really incredible. And from what I'm seeing inside of Notion here, you're just not going to be able to get that type of of thing. Like I said, it is a document with a database like records in it when this is an actual database, and you can really start to see how this looks. So the data, the automations, the interfaces, the forms, even just having those 4 things at the top is going to make it so much easier for you to be able to like troubleshoot, delegate. I will even show you, I'm like just going to show some quick things that I know exist inside of Airtable, is that you get to see like record review, like revision history. So if an automation is triggered based off of this record, you can see it. There's a million reasons why Airtable is better than Notion. And what I'm seeing in this true side by side, because like I said, I was really open to being impressed by Notion, because one of the things that I used to say is like Notion used to not have the ability to send to send an email. Now you can. So it's like, okay, but even like I'm building this and it's confusing. Like if I wanted to say when an application is received, like when a form is submitted, send an email. And I'm like, okay, they do have automations. That's good for all pages and application. When a page is added, I guess that technically means when an application is created, but then we would say send an email. And look this is so like, it's so like farther behind than Airtable. Look at this, send email in Gmail is new. It is a new feature. Like before I used to be like, well, you can't send through Gmail. And when I was about to record this video, I was like, shoot, like, okay, you can send emails, you can send Gmail emails now. Is Notion catching up to Airtable? And it's clearly not. So you can send an email to the applicant, and you can do that. You can have this. So you can enable an automation, but let me see here. But I can't automatically see like where is the automation history. That's important to me because I want to see like when the automation fails. And you can see like the automation section inside of Airtable is way more robust. So like I said, you can create those sections and all of your automations live in one spot. And you can see the history. So you can see the run history, the revision history, just like way more robust, especially with scaling. Like when you're scaling with client management, your automations are really going to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting. You want one central place where you can see all of those automations. And there's not really a place like the automations they're possible. They exist now in Notion. It's cool, but it's not as far ahead with Airtable. And so that's another reason why I'm like, this just is not as robust as Airtable. And it's not the place to be building your client management. So I hope this was helpful to see. There's probably a million other things. And if you have questions about the other features of like, oh, could it do this? Could it do that? Like, let me know. I'm happy to make more videos about this. But overall, I'm just like very unimpressed. I'm unimpressed by Notion in terms of a client hub because this is not a client hub. It is a page with little tables inside of it when like you can see like this is a full-blown hub. Like it is everything. It is cohesive. It's robust. All right. After seeing these side by side, I hope that the difference is clear. Airtable wins over Notion hands down for me. Airtable is a database. Notion is documents. So Notion, even with all the features that they've added, is still at its core a document-based tool with databases layered inside of it. And that difference matters more and more as your business grows. So if you love Notion for writing, documenting, or internal pages, amazing, you can keep it. But for client management, for actual automation, it is Airtable every single time. And one last thing I want to be clear about, what you watched in this video was me starting from scratch on both tools to keep things fair. But in real life and in your business, I do not recommend building your client hub from scratch. I have spent years refining my Airtable client hub across group programs, one-on-one offers, VIP days, agencies for coaches and service providers, and I've figured out how to use Airtable and how to customize this client hub for you to have it actually work and scale in your business. So if you want to see what that fully built real-world Airtable client hub looks like in action, I have a free masterclass and demo linked below where I walk you through the entire system step by step and give you actual use cases, case studies of clients using it, not just for onboarding and automations and applications, but actual like client delivery and all of those things. If you have more questions like, can Airtable do this? Or I know Notion can do this. Can Airtable do what Notion can do in this thing? Let me know, drop them in the comments. I'm happy to make follow-up videos. If this was helpful for you, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more systems content, and I'll see you in the next video.